Swami Vivekananda, a Hindu monk, was born in the year 1863 and passed away in 1902. He represented India at the World's Parliament of Religions held in Chicago in 1893 and had vast knowledge of logic, philosophy, and history. He got to travel across India and formed the Ramakrishna Mission. In the course of his wanderings across India, Swami Vivekananda heard about the World's Parliament of Religions to be held in Chicago in 1893. His friends and admirers in India wanted him to attend the parliament, and he too felt that the parliament would provide the right forum to present his master's message to the world. And his attendance at the Parliament of Religion established him as a great leader. Parliament of Religions was the largest and the most impressive event. It was recognized as the first formal assembly of representatives from Eastern and Western spiritual traditions. In his welcome address at the Parliament of Religions in Chicago on 11 September 1893, Swami Vivekananda addressed the audience as sisters and brothers of America. He expressed joy for the warm and cordial welcome. He then expressed thanks in the name of the most ancient order of monks in the world. He thanked in the name of Mother of all religions and also in the name of the millions of Hindu people of all castes and sects. He categorically thanked the speakers who said that people from the Oriental world are people from far-off nations who would like to claim the idea of toleration. His speech projected thanksgiving and gratitude in the best possible manner. The main focus of his welcome speech was his sense of pride in belonging to Hindu religion. He laid emphasis on the fact that Hindu religion has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. He stated that Hinduism accepts all religions as true. He, with a sense of pride, stated that he belonged to a nation, India, which sheltered the persecuted and the refugees of all religions and nations. An important theme of his welcome speech was his desire to focus on oneness of God. To make his point clear, he quoted a few lines from the hymn, "As the different streams having their sources in different places, all mingle their water in the sea, so, O Lord, the different paths which men take, all lead to thee." He called the Parliament of Religions an august assembly, a declaration to the world of the wonderful doctrine preached in Bhagavad Gita. Swami Vivekananda made the teachings of Bhagavad Gita known to the world and tried to say that God is one and that men need to realize this universal truth. Another important aspect of the speech of Swami Vivekananda was that he described in detail the enemies of the world. He stated that sectarianism, bigotry, fanaticism are the enemies of the earth. According to him, these enemies have filled the earth with violence, drenched the earth with human blood, destroyed civilization, and sent whole nations to despair. He hoped to hear the death knell of fanaticism and death knell of all uncharitable feelings between persons. In the second speech, delivered on 15 September 1893 at the Parliament of Religions, Swami Vivekananda posed a question: why we disagree. In order to explain this, he gave an illustration of a frog who tried to preach to the world that though all religions are different, but the essence is the same. He narrated a story to illustrate the causes of variance and why people disagreed. The story was of a little small frog with eyes who lived in a well for a long time and ate worms. One day, accidentally, another frog that lived in the sea came and fell into the well. And Frog of the Well asked him how big was the sea. He was of the opinion that sea could not be bigger than the well. On the other hand, Frog from the sea was annoyed because he knew the well was nothing in comparison to the sea. Both started fighting, and the Frog of the Well threw Frog of the Sea out. By sharing this story, Swami Vivekananda drew an analogy and said that the Hindu, like the frog in the well, sits in his own little well and thinks the whole world is my little well. The Christian does the same. The Muslim does the same. Thus, everyone disagrees. But he said that the need was to make an attempt to break down the barriers of this little world and allow each other to enter. Swami Vivekananda delivered a heartfelt gratitude speech in the final session of the Parliament of Religions on 27 September 1893. He thanked the noble souls whose large hearts and love of truth could dream to have Parliament of Religions. He praised the liberal sentiments that overflowed on this platform and did not forget to thank the enlightened audience for the uniform kindness and for the appreciation of every thought that tend to smooth the friction of religions and for making general harmony sweeter. Swami Vivekananda even had a word of caution for those in particular who thought that unity will come by the victory of their religion and the destruction of the other religion. He clearly stated, "Brothers, yours is an impossible hope." He even went to say that, "Do I wish that the Christian would become Hindu? God forbid. Do I wish that Hindu would become Christian? God forbid. Do I wish that Buddhist would become Christian? God forbid." His words celebrated uniqueness of each religion. His words laid emphasis on realizing oneness of God. His words dwelled in the hope for humanity in general. Swami Vivekananda compared seed to a religion. He gave an illustration to show that when a seed is put in the ground and earth, air, and water are placed around it, the seed does not become the earth or the air or the water. Instead, the seed becomes a plant. It develops after the law of its own growth and assimilates. He believed religion is also like the seed which grows into a plant. A Christian cannot become a Hindu or a Buddhist, nor a Hindu or a Buddhist can become a Christian. But each religion must assimilate the spirit of the others and yet preserve his individuality and grow according to its law of growth. Swami Vivekananda in the final session concluded by saying that the Parliament of Religions has proved to the world that holiness, purity, and charity are not the exclusive possessions of any church in the world, and that every system has produced men and women of the most exalted character. He pitied the people who dreamt of the exclusive survival of his own religion. He felt that on the banner of every religion must be written, "Help and not fight, assimilate and not destroy, harmony and peace and not dissension." Thus, Swami Vivekananda, with his rational thoughts and idea of tolerance and universal harmony, spread interfaith awareness and also succeeded in creating an awareness of the doctrine of Hindu philosophy.